All right, guys, welcome to my peptide gym vlog. This workout is actually powered by peptides. As I've mentioned to you guys in a few of the other videos, I am bulking with a few peptides right now. I'm using GHRH, so growth hormone releasing hormone, GHRP, growth hormone releasing peptide, secretagogue, which is going to be MK677, and a few other peptides to, enhance recovery. But I'll go over those in this video. All right, so we're going to be hitting back today, really focus on density. A lot of people, whenever they do backs, they run straight to, the regular pull-ups, which is cool, and it is a flex to be able to do regular pull-ups. But the problem is this is how you get like a wide back, and you end up having like a blank canvas for a back. So if your goal is to have like more of a denser back, a thicker back, then I would definitely recommend using this one. I don't know if you saw, but I was squeezing at the top. Really just focus on contracting and getting as much blood in the muscle pocket as possible. And a sleeper peptide, well, it's not really a peptide, but a sleeper supplement that people don't talk about is like MK677. Like the pump that you get from that, the muscle fullness, like I even feel way stronger taking it. It's because of the amount of water that's going into my muscle, which is allowing me to look way fuller, feel way fuller, and also like makes me a whole lot stronger. It's weird. The biggest thing right here with this machine is really just gonna focus on squeezing right here. You can sit up here for 5 seconds, just squeeze. Boom. It's not so much about stretching the lab because, again, today's density day. I know I got the pump cover on and everything, but just wait for it. This bulk has honestly been really fun. I've enjoyed it. I think the part that I've enjoyed the most about the bulk is pretty much just eating whatever I wanted to eat. And because of the peptides like I'm using, like CJC 1295, I'm using the DAC version, DAC, so drug affinity complex, means it's gonna have a longer half-life, meaning it's in your system way longer. So instead of having those 20-30 minute, spikes that you would with the ipamorelin version, for like literally 6 to 8 days, my levels are like literally here. I'm like literally amplified 24/7 for like a week, which is amazing. But one thing that I do love about that is that like I'm not like, even though I'm bulking, I'm eating whatever I want to eat. Like I'm not fat. Everything's lean. I don't even really feel like I'm bulking, but I've been eating whatever I want to eat, and I put on like 15-16 pounds over the last 6 to 8 weeks. Now mind you, before I was kind of in a deficit, not really in a deficit, but I was like right below what my average daily intake should be, and that's pretty much just what I do to kind of maintain on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, we got some rows right here. I never go too crazy, really just focus on squeezing, man. Just like, there's 150-pound dumbbells right here. There's no reason for me to be using 150-pound dumbbells. So I'm gonna be using these 75. I might work my way up to 95. But again, really just focus on squeezing and contracting and getting as much blood flow in those muscles as possible. Another thing that's been great is like the recovery side of things. So I mentioned you guys, like I'm using a few healing agents like BPC 157, and this is really helping with the inflammation and the soreness. So I went pretty crazy on a leg day like 3 days ago, and I was sore the day after, but after that it was cool. And that's not really normal with my leg days. You guys are probably looking like, yeah, I'm not really bulked up. This is like way bigger than I'm comfortable with being. The range of motion, my flexibility, my mobility, it's all gone. Right now I'm at about 232 pounds fasted, and then I'm gonna be shredding down all the way down to 200. I haven't been down to 200 and probably it's probably been like 4 or 5 years since I've been down to 200 pounds super lean, so I'm super excited for that. Take these 85s on the ride. So my system with training and my protocol is like a little different from everyone else's. My splits are as well. So I've already hit back this week. Like I hit back and biceps on Tuesday, but with back and biceps, it was more of a whiff day. So I focused more on the lats trying to keep that Dorito, that triangle figure. And then today, I pretty much just go in and, you know, double down on the things that I miss, which is going to be density. And then I'm also going to be making a school community. It's in the process right now. I'm literally putting a bunch of classrooms together to give you the A to Z when it comes to peptides. Everyone will have access to, you know, pretty much the basics, questions that you might have, a little guidance to kind of get you started, get you on your way. And then, you know, there'll be extra classes that are going to show you how to handle your own dosaging, how to stack it, how to read your blood work, and pretty much how to become self-sufficient. Because as we progress in the world, the more common, as we progress in time, the more common peptides are going to be in everyone's daily lives. And eventually, at some point, you're going to have people who are going to be charging you $2,000-$3,000 for coaching on peptides, when I'll have a complete do-it-yourself workshop. So anyways, I was going to take these 95s on a ride. I think I'm just going to go and hit 100s. Oh, no, you're all good.
Knocked off his camera. Oh, yeah, we need to film it. There's another one I sent you. Remember the one I sent you? There was another one, no one using it. Yeah. Yeah, film. I want to do it and film it.
2, squeeze. 3, 4. Can't be the only one that fucking loses count. Somehow I went from like 5 to like 9. So as of a few weeks ago, I added IGF-1 LR3 into the peptide stack. I only recommend using this for like 4 to 6 weeks at a time. Never to go too crazy with it. So IGF-1 LR3 is one of the most anabolic peptides out there. So you really have to be careful with it. Like, a lot of people don't realize, whenever you're getting off of IGF-1 LR3, like, you really have to cycle off of it. It's not like a lot of these other peptides that you can just get off. And you really shouldn't just get off any of these peptides. You should cycle off properly. Like, a great example is retatrutide. With Reta, a lot of people just quit cold turkey. No, you have to like inch off of it. Like, if you end up being on if you end up going for 10 weeks and you're on week 10 and you decide you want to get off and give your body a break, you don't just quit. If you're at 8 milligrams on week 10, let's say you're on 12 milligrams at week 10, then week 11, you want to go 10 milligrams. Week 12, you want to go 8 milligrams. Week 13, you want to go 6 milligrams, and they're on until you get off. And IGF-1 LR3 is just as important, if not more important, because you can really like burn out your receptors, as crazy as that sounds. And yes, that could have some long-term issues, but I mean, it's not going to really be something that kills you. It could just mess up, you know, the functionality of your body and how it does what it does. So yeah, doing IGF-1 LR3, CJC 1295 with that MK677. I'm excited to start using GLP-1s again because I'm going to be stacking this with a few other things like AOD 9604, things like that are going to pretty much target the fat loss. A lot of people don't know about AOD. Everyone's in a hoopla about Reta, but there's a lot of other solid peptides out there that are just as good. And if you're like in the bodybuilding realm, or if you're in the realm where you want to put on more muscle and like burn less muscle, then the AOD route makes way more sense. But yeah, as of right now, I'm using IGF-1 LR3 for 4 to 6 weeks, literally only using it for like 3 times a week. And I use it like in the morning whenever I wake up. So some people use it pre-workout, some people use it post-workout, really depending on you and what your goals are, but also how your body works. Very important to know your body. And then another thing that's really cool about that community that I'm going to be making, it's literally going to, you know, like being a legit community, not something that you're just subscribed to, but you're going to be able to see other people's testimonials, other people's experiences, and how other people responded with certain peptides, who have different body types, different situations, different circumstances. So, you know, I'm really excited just to see what that's going to become and what that looks like. Anyway, we got some bent over rows right here. I've been taking peptides for a while now, and you know, I just decided to, you know, make this the new direction that my content goes in. I wasn't sure, you know, what kind of response I would get, but the feedback's been great. A lot of people are interested in it. A lot of people are seeking information, and the problem is there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of bad sources, a lot of people, you know, really messing up the industry. So it feels really good to be able to kind of give people a positive outlook on this. Anyway, we got 4 sets of 12 with bent over rows. Usually I go up to about 315, but yeah, not today. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another thing I think surprises people is like the amount of women who use peptides. Like a lot of them are so familiar and so comfortable with it. Like, they're using GHK copper for their skin. They're using tesamorelin, you know, as a GAH peptide for, you know, sleep. You know, there's a peptide out there called PT141 for people who have low libido and stuff like that. So shout out to the women, you know, who are educating themselves. You know, we're still trying to get people who are closed-minded and uneducated to kind of look into this world and just see how this can optimize their lifestyle. And it doesn't just have to be on a, you know, physical level. You know, there's peptides out there that enhance, you know, your cognitive function as well. You know, things like CMAX for, you know, the way that you process, you memorize information. Salant, which is really good for anxiety. Like, this goes on and on. Even things like NAD+, which is good for energy. Now, right now, because I'm on GHRH peptide, every morning I wake up optimized and energized regardless. So I don't really need NAD+ right now while I'm using CJC 1295. But for someone who isn't using a GHRH peptide, NAD+ is going to be a great, you know, gateway to getting more energy, the biohacking world. Anyway, we got a 12 piece right here. Believe it or not, I've gotten noticeably stronger using CJC 1295 with that, like way stronger than I was before I started using it. There are people out there who are going to find out you're taking peptides and they view it as soft, but you know, listen, bro, everyone doesn't want to walk around 260 pounds at 5% body fat. Some people just want to, you know, want more mobility, more functionality, want to look good, feel good, and do that without shutting down their body system and keeping their body from doing what it's already doing. So that's why we go the peptide route instead of full-on anabolics. I wasn't supposed to go this heavy. Honestly, I feel like it's really good to go back to the basics sometimes. Like, I love the machines. Machines is a great way to, you know, become more advanced, to really dial into little things. But I mean, if you're building a foundation, stick to the basics. I can't say the part that sucks the most about bulking is like not being mobile, not being able to run, gassing out really early. Now initially I was supposed to go on like a 6-month bulk, but honestly I really fucking hate being this heavy. Like, people don't talk about the bulk and how unsatisfying it is. None of my clothes fit. Kind of got a fat face. Don't want to pull my shirt off anywhere. I went to a fitness event like 2 weeks ago, and chubs have kind of got to me a little bit, but kind of goes back to the thing I always say. A man's reward in public for what he does in private. So you're celebrated in the light for what you do in the dark when no one's seeing you. So you kind of have to go through that ugly phase, you know. It's one of those things where it's like going 2 steps back to go 10 steps forward. You know, yeah, you want to show out and, you know, you want to show people what you've showcased, what you've done, what you've become, but sometimes just being able to stay down a little bit longer and, you know, wait for that right moment to pop out. Sometimes that'll do way more for you than, you know, just being shredded year round or popping out year round. So I'm super excited to be shredding using some GLP-1s in about 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm going to be switching the peptide protocol completely for that. I'm going to be using things like, obviously I'm going to use Retta. I'm going to be using things like AOD, which targets more fat loss rather than just appetite suppression. I'm going to be, my dose with Retta is going to be way different from everyone else does. Most people use it incorrectly in the sense that they suppress their diet altogether and they're not hitting their macros. Like, yes, Retta is going to help you preserve muscle. Now, you could still build muscle while you're in a deficit, but if you're not eating, you're not hitting your macros, then you're still doing yourself a disservice. So I'll pretty much be obviously bringing you guys on that journey as, you know, I go from 232 pounds down to about 200. So I'm going to lose about 30 pounds on this cut. Can't grip it. And again, like, yeah, it's kind of cool, like being able to lift weights, but it's almost like it's a trade-off. Because the heavier you are, the stronger you're going to be. The lighter you are, then you know, the weaker you are in most cases. But if I have to choose over being agile versus being super strong, I'm going to choose agile all day. It's not even a debate. We're all like that though, bro. It's weird because it's like we could, even me, like I don't want to say I put on like a persona of like always being on 10, but a lot of time I'm always on 10. And even I slip up, bro. Like sometimes I be down or shit goes left and I get in my head, or I'm expecting a certain outcome to validate the work that I put in so I can continue, and I don't get that. I don't get that validation, and I have to push myself. And sometimes, you know, I feel like we all need that, like that voice of reasoning, that second positive voice that, you know.
So when I get this group together, will we meet up like once or twice a week?
Do you already have a group of people?
I mean,
We got biceps right here. You heard it yourself, man. As much as I like being like jacked, I'd much rather be functional. You know what I mean? Like, why can't you be jacked and functional? And I don't want to like give myself the title of like, you know, of being hybrid. I am part hybrid, but it's like, man, running 12 miles a day that's a commitment. But I'm excited. Once I get shredded, I'm going to be using a couple of the peptides to, you know, really help with my endurance, my blood flow, my oxygen. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there. And I'm excited to like really go into a deep dive with that, because I'm going to be shredded. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be like something like a hybrid, but I guess I'll be enhanced or whatever. But it's not like I'm shutting down my immune system or I'm flooding my hormones with exogenous testosterone. No, I'm using peptides, which are out of my system in a few days. So can't beat it. I'll probably start off way too high. The whole time I've been recording, I didn't even realize this shit was recording vertical and it's supposed to be fucking horizontal. Whatever you do, whenever you're in the gym, make sure that you put your phone on Do Not Disturb. The last thing you want to do is like be getting ready to PR and then someone calls your phone and like throws you off. Like, it happens all the fucking time to me. I trust that someday peptides are going to be normalized and it's going to be viewed as like protein. It's just going to be such a part of our everyday lives, which I believe that it should be. And I can honestly say, like, being open about using peptides wasn't really a hurdle, but kind of was, just in the sense that, you know, once you open up about something, people are quick to try to stick you or label you as this or as that, label you as things that don't really align with who you are or what you stand for. But I believe it's just really important to know who you are and just be grounded in that. And anything else that people try to throw at you, literally just bounce off. That's the end of this vlog. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. One thing I do want to leave you with is make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are like chasing greatness in their own life, because by surrounding yourself with a bunch of people like that, it will like just naturally encourage you to do more and to be better, just because you see how, you know, your circle is moving. I'm only saying this because, you know, one of my friends, which is actually one of my peptide clients, encouraged me to make content about peptides, you know, make YouTube videos, create a community, because that's something that this niche is missing. And we really need it. It's like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's not enough people out there who are actually educating you on peptides, and there's not enough people who are sharing their experiences. So I've kind of made a commitment to almost be a lab rat with a lot of the peptides that I do try and speak on my experiences in hopes that it'll, you know, help you, give you the courage to take that first step to optimizing your health, optimizing your life, and just, you know, creating a life that you actually desire.